Alright, now I have a little bit more pink yarn left, so hopefully that's enough to finish the head or to make the head. So I'm going to find a better way to just not have this laying here, but it puts a glare on the screen. I might just have to move my area. But so we're going to start with the head now. I'm talking a little lower, so I hope you guys can hear me. But for the head, you're going to make a magic circle with your 3.5 millimeter hook this time. Going to make a magic circle. And you're going to put 8 single crochet into that magic circle. So that's 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now you're just going to pull that through. And you're going to single crochet into that first stitch that you did. You're going to grab your stitch marker. All right. Now for rows 1 through 10, you are going to do, and I want to make sure I explain this properly. For rows 1 through 10, the row that you are on depends on the amount of single crochets that you should be doing in that pattern. So for example, row 1, and I've said this before in other tutorials, but it may sound weird when you first hear it. So you're going to go into that next stitch and you're going to do an increase. So a single crochet increase. So you got your 2 single crochet there. You're going to go into the next stitch and just do 1 single crochet for row 1. Now you're going to go into that next stitch, do an increase. And in that next stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. And you're going to complete this pattern all the way around. So for row 1, we're just doing increase, 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet. For row 2, increase, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, single crochet, no, increase, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, increase, and so on and so forth. So for example, again, if you get to row 7, you should be doing an increase and 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So whatever row that you are on, just starting out, you should be able to know how many single crochets you should be doing in that row, if that makes sense. Now when you get back to the stitch marker and you say I ended on a single crochet here, just go into the stitch marker and do a single crochet. So wherever you end on the row, if you ended on an increase, that's fine. When you get back to your stitch marker, you want to make sure that you just do a single crochet. So that was row 1. So for row 2, it's the same thing. We're going to go into that, if it will focus for me. Come on. We're going to go into that next stitch, do an increase. And you always start your rows with an increase, and then you're going to do 1 single crochet and the next 2 stitches. So that was 1 single crochet. This is your second single crochet. And that next stitch, you're just going to do another increase. And you're going to repeat again, the row that you are on corresponds with the amount of single crochet and the pattern that you should be doing of that row. So I just want to make sure that, we're clear on that. So I'm going to do my rows, and then I'm going to come back, and we're basically going to end it off. All right, so I've got my 10 rows, and this is what it's starting to form. Now, because I'm running out of pink yarn, I'm going to just demonstrate the next rows of what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to make them until I don't have any more pink yarn, and then I'll just keep demonstrating. But it's pretty self-explanatory. I just want to be able to show as much as I can. So for rows, after you did your rows 1 through 10 with corresponding, it's going to turn out looking something like this. So after that, for rows 11 through 15, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around. Now this is as much yarn as I have left, so I'm going to do one row, but it's just a row of all single crochets. And of course my little tutorial isn't going to look exactly like what your head is going to turn out to. It's a standard amigurumi head. So this part's rather easy. So you just single crochet all around for rows 11 through 15. I'm going to go get my head just so you know what it looks like. Give me one moment. Alright, so do your single crochet around, and I'll come back and show you how to do row 16. Remember, rows 11 through 15, you're going to single crochet in every stitch around. Now for row 16, again, I'm going to demonstrate here. For row 16, you are just going to do a decrease, as we've done before in this. If it will focus, please. Come on. We're just going to do a decrease and single crochet pattern all the way around. So you're going to start with a decrease, do your single crochet, decrease, decrease, single crochet, decrease, and so on until you've reached back to your stitch marker. So that's for row 16. You're going to decrease, single crochet around the entire thing. When you get back to your stitch marker, say for instance, if you've gotten back to your stitch marker and you need to do another decrease, okay, you have to do another decrease, let me do it on camera just to make sure you guys know what I mean. It's easier to explain than anything. I mean, easy to show than anything. I'm just going to show you to make sure.
She's all curled up. So cute.
Don't take too long. All right. I don't know if you guys probably wouldn't be able to tell, but this is a new day today. I'm doing this at night because my kitty sleeps better at night. So that's why I'm trying to talk a little bit lower. But she's doing really good in her recovery. Today is the 7th day. So we've got a whole nother week of this. And I'll be really glad when it's over because she worried me a lot in this. You know, for those who have had their babies spayed or neutered before, you know, it is a little nerve-wracking. Okay, so I wound up with my decrease. This is the last thing I did before I got to my single crochet. If you end on a decrease, of course, just go in and do a single crochet into the stitch with the stitch marker. If you end on a single crochet, because it's going round and round, it's not really like a slip stitch thing. You see where it's sort of going round and round here. So you may not always get the same result as me. So because I did a decrease, if you wound up here and you have a single crochet, just go into the next stitch and do another single crochet into the stitch marker, if that makes sense. All right, now after row 16, for rows 17 through 18, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around. Now it's going to start to form into, like I said, it's just a standard amigurumi head. Oh, this is where all my stitch markers went. It's just a standard amigurumi head. But for rows 17 and 18, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows 17 through 18. I'm going to give it a minute. Let you do that. You can pause the video. For row 19, you are again going to just do your decreases and your single crochets. So decrease in one stitch, single crochet. And remember also, a decrease takes up 2 stitches. So you go in your first stitch, pull up a loop, go in the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. And that makes your decrease. So you're going to continue that all the way around for row 19. Check on my baby. She's so curled up. It's so cute. Now for rows 20 and 21, you're going to, again, just single crochet around the entire thing. Just, again, regular single crochets around, 1 single crochet in every stitch for rows 20 through 21. Just basic single crochet. Now after that, for rows 22 and up, you are just going to continue to decrease and single crochet in every stitch around until closing. So again, the decrease, you decrease, just single crochet, decrease, single crochet. And this is my head now, and I've left a little bit. So really it's up to you to decide whether you want to do it until the hole is completely closed, or you can leave just a tiny opening, because eventually as you get farther around and farther into closing, it's going to start scrunching. And if you want that, that's, like I said, it's entirely up to you. I like to try to leave a little bit of hole because it's going to be tied down to a torso, so you're not even going to see this. And if you want, you can sew this in, but mine never really comes undone, so I don't bother. If this is a gift for someone, then I would recommend sewing it in, but especially if it's to a kid, you know how they can play a little rough with things sometimes. But it's for row 20 22 until closing, so you're just doing decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet. And at this point, the stitch marker really isn't needed. You would just have to pay close attention. I, for one, lose my count a lot, and I have to go back and recount. This, you would just have to make sure, because the stitch marker really is pointless after row 22. So you just be decreasing single crochet until it closes. You can do it until a full close, or you can just leave a little hole open there. So that is your head. Now, I think I'm going to move on. I got to unravel this. But I think I'm going to move on to the, let me see, what do I have here? What is this? All right. I'm going to start with the, I don't know which one I want to do, slippers or, because I have the pink yarn out, I'm just going to do the ears. What we have left so far is we need to do the ears, a little strap that goes around her ears, and you have her eyeballs. Some of those things, again, can be used with felt. Some of them you don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. And then, of course, her tail. We have to remember her tail, her slippers, and then like a few little embellishments here and there to make it a little bit more realistic. And then we're done. So I'm going to keep unraveling this, and then I'm going to get started on the ears. All right, now starting with the ears, you're going to need your 3mm hook. So we're going to move that 3.5 out the way. We're going to take our 3mm hook. And for the ears, again, you have to have your pink yarn. Come on, focus, please. You have to have your pink yarn. Now you're going to make a slip knot. Insert your hook, and you are going to chain 5. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now you're going to single crochet down that chain. I had to make sure my baby was there. My husband's watching her right now, but he had to use the bathroom, so I'm just taking little peeks. But she is in the most cutest little position right now, just curled up. I don't know for anyone who's ever gotten their cat a cat onesie after spaying, but it's so cute. It just looks like she's wearing like little cat clothes. It's adorable, and she can sleep more comfortably in it. All right, so we did, that was the starting row. I always count this as my starting row and not an actual row. So after that, you're going to chain 1. Remember to chain 1 at the beginning of every row, and you're going to turn, and for rows 1 through 3, you're just going to single crochet down. Now I can show that because, you know, this isn't, I'm not going to pause it because this is really short. It doesn't take that much time to do. So this is row 1. I chain my 1 at the end. Row 2. Chain my 1. Turn. And this is row 3. Oh, and also something I want to make clear. You want to make sure you're going back under the stitch that you chained, that go under, and so it lines up fine. I should have said that at the beginning. My apologies. You just want to make sure it lines up well. All right. Now, after that, for row 4, I chain my 1. I'm going to turn it. Now for row 4, you're going to do an increase in the beginning and the end. What you doing awake? My baby woke up. Hi, honey bunny. It's all right. Mama's here. You're going to do an increase in the beginning and the end of the row. So again, you're going to go back in that stitch. Going to go back in that stitch, and you're going to do an increase. So a single crochet increase. Now you're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch. Go on that next stitch, do a single crochet for a total of 1 single crochet. And the next 2 stitches, if you can see that. And that last stitch, you're going to do an increase. That's how it's going to look. It would focus. So you're going to chain 1. Chain 1, and for row 5 through 7, you are just going to single crochet down. Now because I want to keep an eye on my baby, I'm going to do this off camera, but just row 5 through 7, you're going to single crochet in every stitch across. And make sure that you're going into the stitch underneath the chain to make it line up more. And remember to chain 1 and turn at the end of every row. So this is row 5. And I'll just tell you what I mean by that, just to make sure. 5. Okay, we got to the end of row 5. You're going to chain 1 and turn. That's what I mean. So do your other 2 rows, and then I'll be right back. All right. So I'm done with those rows. For row 8, you're going to do the same thing as you did in row 4. I'm going to chain my 1, and you're going to turn. And for row 8, you are going to do an increase in the beginning and the end of the row. So Going to go into that stitch underneath the chain. We're going to do a single crochet increase. That's one single crochet. Come on, focus. Why is it not focusing? That's one single crochet. Go back into that same stitch and do a single crochet. And then you're going to do a single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to do an increase in that last stitch. A single crochet increase in that last stitch. That was the first single crochet. That's the second single crochet. We're done. Chain your 1 and turn. All right. That was for row 8. Now for rows 9 through 11, you're just going to single crochet down the row. Rows 9 through 11, single crochet down the entire row. All right. So I did my rows 9 through 11. And you see it's starting to form a little bit. Now you can chain your 1, turn. Now for row 12, we're going to do the same thing we have been doing. You're going to do an increase in the beginning of the row. And you're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the next 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to go into that last stitch and do your increase. Single crochet increase. Just 2 single crochet in that stitch. You're going to chain your 1 and you're going to turn. All right, now for rows 13 and 14, you are just going to single crochet down the row to complete your ear. Now I'm going to do that on camera. Do 1 single crochet down. It's 13, turn, and then for your last row, this is 14. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was not looking in the camera. That was probably blurry as all get out. I apologize. Chain your 1. All right, so now if you want your ears to just have this square shape to it, you can yarn off and end your ears. If you want the ears to have a more rounded look, this is only for people who want the ears to be round at the top. For row 15, what I did was I just did an increase. Again, started doing an increase. And then an increase, and then in the next stitch do a single crochet and then an increase, and I would just continue that across to make it more rounder. So increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, and then you would end on an increase to where it looks more rounded at the top, like that. It's completely up to you. I like the rounded look, so I'm gonna keep that. But you just want to, whatever you prefer. If you like just the square look, stop at row 14. If you like the round look, just continue on to row 15. All right, now of course you will make 2 of those, and I think what I'm going to do now is move on. Since I still have the pink, I'm going to move on to making her tail. All right, now starting off with the tail, You're going to be using pink and white yarn for this part of the project. You're going to start off by doing a magic circle, and you're going to take your 3.5 millimeter hook, and you're going to do 8 single crochet into the magic circle. So you're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oop. Ah, crap. Did that mess one up? That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah, I think I got it. Alright, now you're going to do your single crochet in that, joining it together. Now for row 1, you're just going to do an increase and single crochet pattern. So you're going to do an increase in that first stitch, if I can get it. Oh my gosh. Increase. I'm going to do a single crochet. Do another increase, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around for row 1. Just do an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet until you get back to the stitch marker. Alright, now I'm back to the end. I ended on a increase. I'm just going to go into that stitch with the stitch marker and do a single crochet. One moment. Alright, I had to jump ahead a little bit because I forgot my pattern, but for rows 2 through 4, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around. Now that's what it's going to start to look like. There are no chain ones or anything in this. You're just going back into the same stitch, but you're going to do rows 2 through 4, you're going to single crochet around. Now after we're done with that, you're going to get your white yarn. I hate when the yarn starts to look like this, because it will just, mine will just fall off. It doesn't look very good. I'm going to try to move this out the way. Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness, the biggest bug. Oh, hold on. I'm so sorry. I have a phobia of bugs, and this palmetto bug just like was crawling by my foot, but I was strong and I killed it. I have to stop. My husband's got to clean it up. I'm not, oh my gosh. And you just sitting there looking at it. You didn't even help mommy. Oh, it was on my foot. All right, we just got to keep moving. I'm going to keep focusing on it. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. So we're going to go. That was row 2 through 4. You're going to single crochet in every stitch around. For row 5, you're going to join your white yarn, and you're going to join your white yarn, and you're just going to single crochet around with your white yarn. So, and because I'm going to be joining yarn on this, I'm actually really glad that that bug came out, because I saw it a couple days ago, and anyone who is like terrified of bugs, when you see a bug and you don't know where it went, you know, it's terrifying, because it's like it could pop up pretty much anywhere. And I'm glad it came out. I'm not glad it came out and crawled on me, but ugh. I'm proud of myself because I'm not usually that bold to kill something. I would have screamed and ran away and the video would have ended. All right, so because this part of it is in white and you'll see the changing only in this part, and I'm going to put this in the pattern. Only in this part do you slip stitch. So you're going to go into that stitch with the stitch marker and you're going to slip stitch just so that it will line up just a little bit. Now, this is up to you, completely up to you. If you want to have a bigger white line, you can just do another row of single crochets. I prefer just the one line because I feel like it looks a little bit better. With the first tail I made, it looked like a bit chunkier. I just like the line. So what you're going to do after that is you're going to join back your pink yarn. I'm going to chop that off too. Join back your pink yarn. Move your row there. All right, give me one moment. All right, now after that, I'm trying to get these loose out the way. Hold on. All right, now for row 6, you are just going, row 6 and 7, you are just going to single crochet around for single crochet in every stitch around for rows 6 through 7. Now, after we're done with this, I think I'm going to show you how to make the slippers. And then really it's just the slippers. I think we still have to make the, where is this at? The strap on her ears, we still have to make. Her eyeballs, we still have to make. So we have a couple things we still need to get. Made. And then it's the assembly part, which is my favorite part. So that was row 6. Move. I'm going to do row 7 and come back. All right. Now for row 8. Wait, no. Yeah, for row 8. Why do I have 9 here? All right, for row 6 and 7, you just single crocheted in every stitch around. For row 8, you are going to start to do a decrease. You're going to do a decrease in the beginning and end of the round and single crochet in between. So I did my decrease. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then since a decrease takes up 2 stitches, those 2 last stitches are my decrease. And then in the stitch with the stitch marker, we're going to do a single crochet. And that is for row 8. Now I counted the stitches just to, just for those who are wondering, but decrease, beginning and end, single crochet around. Let me count how many stitches that was. That was, I'll just, excuse me, I'll just rewatch it back. All right, now for row 9, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around. Now, this is what, after you do your row 9, which I'll just do on camera, get these out the way. It's just in the way. Too much stuff. Gonna do 9 single crochet, 9 single crochet, 1 single crochet for row 9, 1 single crochet in every stitch around for row 9. Oh, come on. Thank you. Appreciate you. Alright, now after row 9, I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch with the stitch marker and chain 1. Now that is your tail, and this is going to go on the back. Ooh, on the back. Let's see, that still didn't really line it up, but it's fine. On the back of her like that. That could go off to the side. If you want to sew it that way, I'll decide. You can decide if you want to. But I'm just going to glue it on the butt part. Because, you know, tails don't have to make sense in shows. So, we're done with the tail. Now, you want to leave a long thing of yarn because you're going to have to sew that in because we didn't close it. It's still open. So, leave a pretty decent tail. And I'm going to yarn off. Alright. Alright. So I'm going to set these aside for a little bit. And now we're going to go into the slippers. Now the slippers were made pretty much the same way I've made, if you've seen my tutorials for, I think I did it for Sans, I'm fairly sure. But, give me one moment. Alright, now for these slippers, you're going to take your 3.5 millimeter hook this time, and you're going to take your lime green yarn. Excuse me. And let me set that there. So your 3.5 millimeter hook, and you're going to make, let me see, I'm going to make another magic circle. And you're going to do 8 single crochet into that magic circle. So that's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Alright. You're going to pull that through. Excuse me. And you're going to go into that top stitch. That first stitch that you did. And you're going to do a single crochet, just as we have been doing. Grab your stitch marker. And for row 1, you're going to do an increase. Oh, why isn't it focusing? You're going to do an increase in that first stitch. You're going to do a single crochet in that next stitch. You're going to do an increase in that next stitch. You're going to do a single crochet in the stitch after that. You're going to do another increase in the stitch after that one. And then you're going to do a single crochet in that next stitch, another single crochet in that next stitch, and then in that last stitch, before the stitch marker, you're going to do an increase. And then you're going to go into that stitch marker and you're going to do a single crochet. All right. Now for rows 2 through 3, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows 2 through 3. 2 and 3. All right. So now for row 4, you are going to go into that next stitch and you're going to do an increase. And then in the next 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet, do one single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 2, and then you are going to do an increase in that next stitch, and you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn it. So now you're just going to single crochet. Remember to go back into that same stitch with your chain 1, and you're going to single crochet back down that row. And chain 1. Now, I'm going to see how this looks on her foot first, because again, now this part is really up to you, because you can either put her shoe in 2 ways. It can be this way, where it's just a little thing off to the side, or you can turn it this way and have it sort of puffed up at the front like that, because you know her shoes curve upwards at the front, or you can have it like that. Honestly, it's up to you. I think that'll be enough for me for single crocheting. Let me put that in the thing real quick. All right, so I'm gonna yarn off, and you're gonna make 2 of those, of course. Now we're going to go into the little band for her head, and then I'm fairly sure. Well, no, I think we have the eyes, but we're gonna go into now the band for her ears, which is with yellow. So get your yellow yarn. All right. All right, now for this part, you can decide whether or not you want to do it bigger or smaller. It's sort of like a little headband for her. So for this, I used let me get that out the frame. I used my 3mm hook for this now. And I chained 22. Now, with your ears, let me unravel this. With your ears, you want to be mindful of how they sit, how you want them to sit on the head, because they're going to sit like sort of side by side one another like this. So you want the strap to be able, this is the strap I'm showing you before, and these will have to be sewn in, so it'll look like that, but you want the ears to be side by side one another. So you can decide how big you want the strap to be. This is how big I made mine, but you can make it bigger or smaller. It's up to you. So what I did for mine was I made a slip knot and I chained 22. So you're just gonna chain however many or however little you want. Again, you want to measure it around your ears so that it's a decent size, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So that's 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So what I mean by that is this wrapped around my ears at the bottom comfortably. So you don't want it to be too tight, but you don't want it to be too loose. So mine wrapped around that pretty snugly. I got a little bit of space there, but that's how it would look. So you want it to be pretty close to that it can wrap around both of your ears. Make sure you have them like this first, and make sure it can wrap around both of your ears and fit, a little snug next to your ear. You need a little bit of space, see it has a little bit of space. But that's what you want to do. So get that out the way. All these pieces of yarn. All right, now you're going to join that at the end. And you're going to get your stitch marker. And you're going to single crochet around the entire thing. And this is your starting row. Now for rows 1 through 3, you are just going to, again, single crochet around every stitch. In every stitch. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. That's why I'm messing up. You're going to single crochet in every stitch around for the starting row and for rows 1 through 3. So after you've done that, I think I just showed it. Where did I put it? It's going to look like this. And that just goes underneath the ears or over top of the ears and slides to the head. Now the last thing. All right. Now making the eyes, starting on making the eyes, you're going to take your 3mm hook and you're going to make a magic circle again. So take that 3mm hook, your white yarn, and you're going to do 8 single crochet into that magic circle again. So that's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're going to single crochet into that top stitch that you did. You're going to join your stitch marker. And I'll be right back because my screen got darker because my battery's dying. Give me one moment. All right, I can see better. All right, so now for row 1, you are going to do an increase in that first stitch, sort of how we've been doing. Increase, single crochet. Increase, you're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, an increase in that next stitch, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around for row 1. And I'm just going to do it on camera because I'm basically halfway done with it. Okay, that was increase. This is an increase. I ended on an increase. I'm going to do a single crochet into that stitch marker, and you're going to add your stitch marker. Now for rows 1 through 3, for rows 1 through 3, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows. Oh, I'm sorry. Not 1 through 3. I'm sorry. This was row 1. For rows 2 through 4, you're going to single crochet in every stitch around. Make sure I write that down. All right, and when you do that, you will get this. You will get these, and of course you make 2 of them. So these are your eyes. Now there are a couple more things that need assembling, but there are a couple more things that still need to be made, but I'm going to start assembling certain pieces now. As I go up, what I have made, I'm going to assemble first, and then we'll just go back and continue making the rest. But I'm pretty sure there's not much left. Now it's really honestly the facial features, and that's really it. So I'm going to grab my torso, and I'm going to grab my slippers too. And I'm going to start joining those on. I'm going to do this all on camera so you're not by yourself. I'm just trying to get everything in order right quickly. So give me one moment. All right, so I'm going to start sewing in my ends for my slippers first. Now you want to make sure that you left a decent sized tail so that you can sew them into the feet. So since I already have a tail sort of already here, what I'm going to do is just crochet. Oh, that kind of looks better that way. Okay, push it outwards. I like it better looking that way. I'm going to push this in the other way then. And I'm just going to just sew around a certain part. Doesn't have to be that much. Oh, just to secure the inside of it. And I'm going to leave my long tail to start sewing in the slippers. I'll just do one more just in a stitch if I can get it. All right, I'm going to yarn off here. All right, so we have the long tail for the shoe. Now, like I said, what you could do is you could just have it as like a slipper here, and it sort of leans off to the side, which I don't really like the way that looks. Or you can have it like this, where it sort of sits around the foot like this. I like it better like this, so I'm going to sew mine in that way. All right. So I'm just going to take my slipper and I'm just going to start sewing in, going in and out of the shoe. Come on now. You got to make sure it's straight too. The last time I did this, mine was not straight. Okay. If I hold it this way, I'm going to go in, and go out. Oh my gosh, why is this giving me grief? Come on. Just warn me. Go in and go out. Sew that like that. Now I'm going to go back around this way, go in and go out the side and pull that through. Making sure it's staying shaped. And we're just going to go around the back at the tops of the thing so that it won't bow out. And just sew that around. We're almost back to the beginning. I'm just going to pull that out like that. And there's our little shoe. Now, what I like to do is just go back, pull it through another spot, and then yarn off it. And there is our little shoe for her. Now, I'm going to do the same for my other slipper. Let me see, mold that a little bit. I need to sew that in a little bit more. But there's a shoe for that. I'm going to add on my other shoe, and then I'm going to take off my dress and start, well, you'll see it when I do it. Let me do my other slipper first. Make sure you add on your other slipper. All right, I've got on her little shoes. Now I'm going to take off, let me yarn this off, and I'm going to take off my dress for her. Just gonna have to pull it out. There we go. And I'm going to sew in my ends because you don't really need to sew on the dress. If you want to, you can, but since it's so form-fitting, it doesn't really need it. So I'm gonna sew in my ends, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start embellishing the dress. And then, well, we can add on the heart. Well, no, I might add on the heart last. I'm just trying to go from bottom to top. So we'll just continue on with the dress. Okay. So now that I have her dress here, what you're going to want to do now, this is a personal choice that you can make. It's up to you to decide whether you want to do it or not. For Panini, she has these little like dots on her dress. Now I can't make dots that well, but I can make little strips. So what you want to do is sort of put your heart in the middle and see, where's my yarn needle? Oh, right here. You're just going to sew in little green strips around the dress. So the heart is supposed to go in the middle like that. So come on, heart, pucker up. So I'm not going to glue it on just yet, but I'm just going to start, and let me pull up a picture here. All right, so I'm just going to start. Make sure you have your heart sort of in the middle, and I'm just going to start sewing in little bits of green. So you want to sew in, you don't want to go that far apart because there's supposed to be little stripes or little bits here, just things like that. And I'm going to go, I don't want to use up too much yarn doing this, so you just want to go behind after you've sewn it in and just tie it loosely, because you want to tie it too tightly because then it will sort of scrunch up at the front, and then you leave a little bit of tail like that. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to show a couple on camera, but this might take a little while. Make sure you're putting your heart in the middle so you just know where you can embellish it at. And this is really sort of all over the place. It's up to you where you want the pattern to go. See, you're just sort of placing it in certain little positions. And then once they're placed, you turn it around, tie it loosely that first time, and then tie it tightly that second time so that it secures it. And then you're just going to cut it off, and leave a tiny little tail. So And like I said, you're just going to be placing these sort of all over the front and back of the dress. So I'm going to start placing mine. I'll put the video up halfway through just so you can see what I mean by that. But I'm going to try to do a little bit around here. I'm going to try to do the front first and then do the back myself. But like I said, it's really up to you. You have fun with it. You can make it either bigger or smaller if you want to. But I just feel like this gives it a cuter little touch to her outfit. So give me one moment. All right, so far, this is what I have. It's little strips instead of dots, but you just want to keep dotting it around and the behind it as well. And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but this is a little time consuming. So I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. I'll show what the front of it looks like, and I'll do a bit on the sides too. You just want to do it all around the dress. Like I said, I'm doing it in little bits here, so it's not a particular way that you have to do it. You just want to make sure that you can see the green. It doesn't have to be in a particular pattern. Something that I'm doing to make it helpful and less tedious is I put the heart in the middle, and you can just start on one side, do this side up. I started across, you can do this side up, and it just goes, I feel, a little quicker. So I'm going to complete the front side. I'll come back and show you what that looks like, and then I'll do the back and put a little on the sides here, and then we can move on to the, I believe what's next would be the arms. So